Ready?
Yeah.
By the way, Joey just said, can I eat in this video? No, you freaking can't.
I just want a cereal.
They don't want to see you chomping away.
I just want a 1 p.m. cereal.
Okay, well, they don't want to see you chomping away, all right? You just focus. Okay, the baby's asleep, and he's been asleep for 45 minutes, so he could wake up in the next 30 seconds. We are doing a question, I don't know what to call it. We are doing the truth about being a dad.
Okay, yeah.
Questions for a new dad.
Yeah.
So Joey's going to give us his honest answers. Okay, so first question, we're starting in with a heater. Do you hate your partner?
Yes.
Yes. No, it's an actual like funny thing that like it's a common thing that you see. That people are like when you're not. I don't think it's so much for the guy, but when you're a girl and you've just given birth and you've got all the hormones and everything like that, you often resent your partner and you feel like you hate them. And I saw this book.
Did you feel like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean? I hated you before the baby. No.
Actually.
Yeah, I mean, you have like resentment. It's like, I don't know, because you're at that point, in that like, first 6 weeks,
oh, it's brutal.
Your life has changed, but not as much as mine. Yeah. And it's, I'm just being, it's your hormones as well. You're irrational as well. Yeah. You're very irrational.
Yeah.
So it's like, excuse me. So the baby's draining you, you're feeding the baby, you're up with the baby all night, your mental load is like 24/7, you're stressed, you're like worried about the baby.
It looks like I'm like, da, 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 da.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not, but compared to what the wife's going through, you are, do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
And also the hormones, so you literally like...
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they say one wrong thing, you're like...
There was a period where you were doing my head in, but then it got better.
Wait, what was I doing? You should have been so grateful.
You were just being,
what I was putting myself through.
Like snappy and.
But again, you know, and every time I would be snappy, and then if Joey would get pissed off, I would be like, Joe. After the fact, when I'd like calm down, I would be like, you can't snap back at me because you have to understand why I'm snapping.
When was that? Quite a bad argument. That was.
It was probably, I don't know, 2 months. He was 2 months or so. I don't know. Around that stage where it's just very bad and you're like not sleeping. But I kept saying to Joey, if I snap at you, I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm doing it because your hormones having the biggest change you've ever had in your whole life, and you can't control it. Like someone pisses you off, you're literally done. Like it's insane. So, but Joey isn't going through that. So it's his job to bite the bullet. Even if I really piss you off with what I said, you've got to bite the bullet and just take it on the chin. And you're not very good at taking it on the chin.
I'm not very good at taking it on the chin. I think that
but the next baby, you'll be right on the chin.
That was one of the toughest things, actually. You just need to know just to don't react in the moment. Yeah. Just suck it up. Yeah. Because, you're going through a lot. And it's difficult because also, in a different way, I was going through a lot as well.
Of course, 100%.
So, like, that's why it's difficult.
Did you immediately feel connected to the baby, like people say? You know, people are like, oh, you have this, like, immediate connection where it's like, my baby.
I would like to say yes, but no.
Same. I feel like that's a myth. I don't know. Unless you had like a really easy birth, I feel like it's a myth.
I think you're right. I think, because you go through so much and then you're just kind of like, and you're exhausted, you've had no sleep, like there's too much going on. Yeah. So then when the baby comes out, I think also I was like, thank God I was checking you're safe and like there was a lot going on. But you're right. I think if it was a plain sailing pregnancy,
maybe
it might have been
different.
more of a magical moment. Yeah. Whereas it wasn't as magical.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't magical. It was like I was trying to survive, and then the baby came out, and I just felt awful. Like I honestly felt like I was on death's door. Like I felt very bad because the labour was like 3 days and I didn't eat or sleep for those whole 3 days. So by the time the baby came out, I was done. So they literally gave me the baby and I was just like...
And also...
I just felt numb. I just felt like I shouldn't even be holding this baby.
Yeah, that's
it was weird. It was like a very weird sensation and it was very stressful. So it wasn't like, oh my goodness, our gorgeous baby, which honestly, I feel like what you see is that as people make you feel like that's what it's going to be like, and you have this undeniable connection, whereas when the baby came out I was just like, whoa. It just felt weird. But actually, and other people I've spoken to, I said, because I've got like 4 friends who've had a baby at almost exactly the same time, and everyone said the same. They were just like, I didn't feel like, oh my goodness, in the moment. I just felt like I shouldn't even be holding this baby like right now.
We were making sure that he was okay as well. Yeah. Because of that whole thing.
Yeah. He had the cord around his neck. But I do think that's important to note because I don't want people to go through the experience and they think, oh, we're going to have this magical moment, and then they
True.
don't, and they're like, there's something wrong with me. Can I just say, this is so lucky because he is often wakes up really quickly and he has stayed asleep for an hour. Is the sleep as bad as people say? I feel like everyone's like, you're going to get no sleep, you're going to be dead, you're never going to sleep again, it's going to be insane. I honestly feel like that's drilled into you when you're pregnant. So is the sleep as bad as they say?
Not as bad as they say.
No, I agree. I actually agree with that.
I think it's because you're kind of on the roller coaster at that point, and every time you wake up, it's worth it, right? Because you have this like experience with your new baby. Okay. So and what? And Annabelle did most of the work.
First month. It might even be more than that. The first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's chaos.
That bit's actually really bad. Some nights where I literally sat awake just holding the baby because he would not sleep in the crib.
Yeah, that was...
Because they're not used to that yet. They'd only want to sleep in the crib. So I would literally lay awake holding the baby like this until I possibly couldn't anymore, until about 5 or 6 in the morning, and then be like, please, can you take him now? And then Joey would take him. I do think people really scaremonger you and they'll be like, wait for it, you're never going to sleep, it's going to be so bad. But I honestly don't think it's as bad as that.
But obviously it's baby dependent, right?
Yes, true. But I honestly, but I don't think it's as bad as... I literally thought I would be up all night for like the next year.
I was going to say, would you say Oakley was a good sleeper? But I guess in the first month, they're not really.
No, I don't think any of them
you're
are.
on this like, oh my God, yes.
And they'll say sleep when the baby sleeps, but that's like physically impossible. Are you scared in the birth, and was it as scary as you thought it was going to be?
I was quite scared.
Were you?
Just because it's just the unknown, isn't it? Like, you can't organise it. I don't really like things where I'm not in control either. So from that perspective, that was a bit tough.
Okay.
And I would say that, you know, you had a bit of a tricky birth, didn't you?
I think most people have got something going on.
They've got some kind of story, yeah.
The most important thing is that even if you were scared, you didn't really show me that you were scared.
Okay, good, thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You weren't like showing me like, oh my God, like panicking.
No,
you were like,
sure.
you know?
Yeah.
Was it like what you thought it was going to be like, or was it worse?
Probably what I would have expected it to be.
But again, I feel you when you think of birth, you think like, oh, it's going to be so bad, it's going to be so painful, it's going to be so scared.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not, you know, we're not like 25 or younger, like going through that might have been a bit crazy. Oh,
if we were even, I always say now that I went looking after, when I had a newborn, I was like, how teen mums could do this. If I was a teenager, if I was 18, that's not even crazy. Some people have a baby at 16.
Yeah.
If I was 16 or 18 and I had that newborn baby, I don't know how I would have survived.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, shout out to everyone who had a baby young because, woo.
Sure. Wait, there was one moment, do you remember when I felt a bit funny and I didn't tell you?
It was when they stitched me up downstairs and then they told Joey to check. They were like, oh, can you check this is okay? And he said he went in and it was just, everything was just covered in blood.
That's what I just felt a bit like,
and you felt sick, right? And
I did feel a bit funny. Like I almost felt a bit faint, which I never usually do with blood. But maybe it was just everything else, lack of sleep, adrenaline. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
But again, he didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell you that.
He just carried on.
I stayed by the fridge. I was like,
do you feel disconnected from your partner?
Disconnected from you? A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think a bit, but also not loads.
Yeah.
I think because we spend so much time together, like...
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time, like, we're hanging out and he's just with us. Do you know what I mean? As well.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, our attention is all on the baby. The attention's always on the baby.
That is the thing.
And at some point, you have to make sure that it's not like that.
Yeah.
And that
it's kind of like when we first got Teddy. Like, all of the attention was
on
dog.
Him. I saw dog, by the way.
All of the attention was on him.
And it wasn't on you.
Well, not even me, but just like, do you know what I mean, in general?
No, but
and then
with the
after
baby,
a while,
all the attention is on the baby and all of that, and it does, obviously, it's very common, people say you're in the roommate stage. You become roommates. You're not as much as like partners. You're just roommates doing this big job together and just surviving and just making sure it all gets done. Do you know what I mean? It's like, we've got to do this, then we need to do the bottles, then we've got to do that. Like, it's not like...
That's the thing, there's not really enough hours in the day just to get everything done.
But at some point, I saw this thing and it's like, this is not your time. So it's like, this is not your time to get sleep. This is not your time for romantic dates. This is not your time. Like, it's just not our time right now.
It's Oakley's time.
It's Oakley's time. And then soon, when he gets a bit older,
shift a bit,
it will be our time again.
I'm sure that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a massive life adjustment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So both of us got to get used to it.
What is your like number one tip you would give for a dad in birth to support their wife?
I would say definitely have a conversation with your wife or partner or girlfriend, whatever, before as to what her expectations are, what she would like, what she needs.
Nice.
So then when you go, you're fully prepared and you don't think, I wish I bought that or I don't have that.
Right, okay.
Because
in the moment your wife is not there almost.
Well, exactly,
so
but also
even
a week before giving birth, you're also kind of like, you know, you're not.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, so you just want to make sure that you're fully prepared for that.
Do you miss? This is an interesting one. Do you miss your old life? I'm going to tell you what I think you were to say. Yes and no.
Yes and no, yeah,
right?
for sure. Yes and no. Yeah, I mean, there's elements of my old life that I miss, but now our lives are so much, you know. Let
me guess. He misses.
So more meaningful, more enriching. Like there's, you know, it's just amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I feel like he misses being able to just go to golf if he wanted to, being able to go to the gym every day with like no thoughts, things like that.
Correct.
Obviously, we can't just like. It's like a bigger deal. Like you can't just like go anywhere. Like before, we'd be like, let's go out for dinner tonight. Let's do this. Let's do that. But obviously, it's a little bit more restricted. However, we are the parents who are just like, we're going to go and we're going to take our baby with us. Like, it's going to be fine.
True.
Which I think is important to make you.
I mean, we are. Yeah.
Because if you're like going out, you're enjoying yourself, you're out as a couple, you're doing all this, and then all of a sudden you just don't go anywhere ever again. Like I feel like that's insane.
God,
but some people do that.
Some people do that.
Some people literally don't leave the house and they're like, oh, I've just got to like look after my baby.
I wouldn't be able to.
No. What is your favourite stage so far?
Favourite stage so far has been the last month.
Okay.
The last month. For sure.
Yeah.
Because the first few months, it's just...
So like,
they're not
4 months old.
4 months
That's
old,
like a good,
The first couple of months, you're just not really getting anything back.
Yeah.
They are just
draining you.
Draining you, crying, like just giving you nothing back. So now that he's smiling, he's like reactive,
laughing, smiling,
he's like looking for you, and he's excited in the morning to see you. Like,
very cute.
That is really rewarding.
Yeah.
So kind of all the hard work was worth it.
So if you're in that bad stage, if you're in the newborn stage and you're like, all this baby does is scream and cry.
Better. Although a lot of people have said to me, it gets better, then it gets worse.
Well, when they start running around and smashing everything up.
Probably, yeah.
I heard this thing and it was like the best stage is when they can sit but they can't move.
Yes. Yeah.
Somebody has woken up. Hello. And is very hungry, so he's going to have their milk.
Good boy.
While we finish the questions. You want your milky? I've lost the bloody questions.
I've lost the bloody questions.
I've lost the bloody questions.
Right.
Milky.
What's next?
This is like a little therapy session.
Go on.
What is your number one tip you would have for a dad during the newborn stage?
In the newborn stage, my biggest tip is to look after your wife.
Oh!
Because
I wasn't actually going to say that.
In the newborn stage, the baby is so dependent on their mum.
Yep.
And the mum feels that the only thing that they could ever do is look after the baby. They don't have time to look after themselves.
Hang on. Teddy.
So if you look after your wife, she looks after the baby.
You're all good.
You're all good, and it's teamwork.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say support... I was going to say... Joey! Oh my God. Joey, okay, this is too far.
Okay.
I was going to say, like, make sure that you take some of the load. As in, if your wife is breastfeeding so she can fully feed the baby, be like, I'll change the baby. You go and lay down for a minute while I...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so the last question is, would you do it again?
I would do it again, but not with you. I'm joking.
I don't even killed the baby's eardrums.
We would obviously love to do it again, but it's quite overwhelming to think that it's going to happen soon. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you do need a bit of a break just to kind of reset and then go again.
It's not happening tonight.
Like, even the pregnancy though, like you were
Pregnancy's
very
rough,
sick.
Even to think of like being pregnant while I'm looking after this baby is mental.
Yeah,
like, I was sick every day until I gave birth, even during the birth.
Yeah.
So that will be really fun. But I also, in a weird way, even thinking about, say like soon in a year or 2 years we get pregnant and we do it again, it does seem like sad. No, but it seems sad to then like look at him now and see like, oh, he's so cute. And we won't have another one after that. That seems sad to think that. So then you might have to have another one.
Should we have lots of
Should we have 3 or 4?
Should we have so many that we can't fit them in the house?
And Daddy's going to have to work 12 jobs.
Daddy's going to go bankrupt. Oh my goodness.
So the answer is yes, you would do it again.
The answer is yes, I would do it again.
You heard it here first. Baby number 2, pending. I'm joking. Not now. Not now.
Not now.
But anyway, well done, Dad.
Boom.
Very good. Right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting. I hope this was helpful. Hopefully. I feel like it was actually. Yeah. I feel like we were very honest. Like, you're going to argue, you're going to do this.
Yeah, you've got to be honest. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no point sugarcoating it.
Exactly. So thank you so much for watching and see you again soon.
Bye.